Finding ways to be financially savvy is a smart move. And knowing you could be saving money for the things you really want, like that dream home or new ride, is a great feeling. That's why the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you save when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state. Do you keep hearing podcast ads, like this one, for example, but always wonder how you actually get involved with them for your own brand or organization? Well, it's easier than you think. We're Acast, and we give you the platform to do it all yourself. Browse thousands of popular podcasts, choose the shows that match your perfect audience, set your budget, and launch. And if you want a hand, our podcast specialists are there to help you launch with confidence. This is podcast advertising without barriers. Get started at acast.com/advertise.
Oh no.
Adam, I just had the worst cycle ride in today.
What happened?
I nearly got run over 3 times by big cars.
Someone's out to get you.
I know, there's something going on with the moon,
It's
I
the
think.
Russians. You're listening to The Logbooks. These are the stories of our lives. We are Adam Zmith.
And Tash Walker.
And we're telling tales about history and politics and art and LGBTQ plus life. So, Tash, what's the story?
Well, I just read this amazing newly published short essay by Rachel Pollock, and it's called Trans Central Station. She's no longer with us anymore, but she was a science fiction writer. But this essay is about her experience of being trans, and lots of people I don't think realise that she was trans, and it's just amazing. I love it so much. Not only is it a fantastic name, Trans Central Station.
Trans Central Station.
It's so good. I was really struck by something that she said in the essay, which is how I've been framing how I feel about my life and the way I live it forever. And it was just so wonderful to read it and feel seen. And she says, and I've written it down because I wanted to get it right, I was trapped in the wrong universe. In order to become who I was, I had to break the world open. I had to embrace a kind of science fiction life, or maybe a magical life.
Oh, wow.
Then it just reminds me about this thing that I always say, which is that from a really young age, you have to tear the world apart and piece it back together so that you make sense within it. And to read someone like Rachel Pollock speaking in a much more like eloquent and beautiful way to exactly that same point made me feel such a strong sense of connection. So I can't recommend it enough to everyone.
Are any of her sci-fi books like really famous? Would I know any of their names?
Yes, but I don't know any off the top of my head.
And is this essay a book, or like it's published as a book, even though it's a long essay?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. It's like a little book. Yeah.
Can I borrow it?
Yes, absolutely. It's kind of completely. It's so small, but I've like highlighted most of it in my pink highlighter that I got from the Trans Digital Archive. So the whole thing feels like very kismet.
Amazing.
Okay. Before we get into our messy middle, should we have a little ad break?
Finding ways to be financially savvy is a smart move. And knowing you could be saving money for the things you really want, like that dream home or new ride, is a great feeling. That's why the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you save when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state. Here's a tip for you. There's a podcast out there with fans waiting to be your next customer. They tune in every week, they trust the host, and that host wants to talk about brands like yours in their own words to their audience. The problem is, you just haven't been introduced yet. We're Acast, where that introduction happens. As the world's largest podcast marketplace, we let you browse shows, see who's listening, and book host-read sponsorships or run your own ads, all from one platform. Transparent pricing, real-time data, complete control. Start advertising on podcasts by visiting acast.com/advertise.
Tash, what are you bringing to the messy middle this week?
Well, Adam, I jumped on my bike safely. No one tried to run me over. And I cycled all the way down to Granary Square, King's Cross, to pop into Queer Britain.
What's Queer Britain?
Well, Queer Britain We're giggling because Adam knows. But in case you don't, listeners, Queer Britain is the UK's first LGBTQ plus museum. It's here in London. Actually, we work with them on another project called The Quilt, which is a podcast that you can go and listen to wherever you get your podcasts. Because, of course, it's in the middle of Granary Square and we wanted to make something that expanded out and highlighted queer people all across the UK. But that wasn't why I went there. They've just revamped their exhibition and it's now available as this amazing new exhibition for people to go and access and explore. But I wanted to get a sneak preview and see what it was all about. So
you snuck in and got a little tour?
I did.
Who was giving you the tour?
I elbowed my way in. I squeezed in like I did to the crawl space for the logbooks. So I met up with Jennifer, who is the lead curator at QB, and also Beau, who we originally met when we were making the quilt because they and their partner Alice are the creators of the Trans Joy quilt.
Right.
But we didn't talk about that. Instead, I got them both to show me some of their favourite items from the exhibition. Also, we did a bit of singing.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to listen out for that.
I am here in King's Cross. It's a gorgeous sunny day, lovely cool spring breeze, and I am about to head to Queer Britain in Granary Square, and I'm really excited. It's actually closed today, but I've got Jennifer and Beau letting me in especially. So here we go. It's got a silver Queer Britain, the national LGBTQ plus museum sign outside. So here we go. I'm going to knock. Hopefully they're there. Yeah, okay, here they come. Hi!
Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
Hello.
So good to see you both.
Lovely to see you.
Oh, it's looking good. How's it all going here?
It's going great, thank you.
Great. Maybe you could just introduce yourself for me and what you do here at Queer Britain.
Of course, so my name is Jennifer, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm the curator here at Queer Britain.
My name is Beau, my pronouns are they, them, and I am the assistant curator at Queer Britain.
Well, thank you so much for letting me to sneak in today on the closed Tuesday that it is. I'm really excited to have a look at the new exhibition that you've both been involved in. But maybe before we do that, you could tell me what Queer Britain is.
Mm-hmm. So we're the National LGBTQ plus Museum. We are Britain's museum for queer life, essentially. So we collect stories about LGBTQ plus history, and we reclaim our histories and preserve them for the nation.
I mean, right on. That's the kind of work that we want, right?
Absolutely.
And Beau, it's really nice to see you again. Obviously, we met a couple of years ago now, I think, was it? When we were working on The Quilt, which was a podcast that me and Adam made in partnership with Queer Britain. So it's really nice to see this full circle experience of you coming back here. When did you join?
I know, so nice. I joined here about 6 months ago. So I think maybe when we met, I was doing my MA in queer history. So really just full circle moment. I finished my MA and just as I was handing my dissertation, I got the job here, which is very, very nice.
So great. Well, it's lovely to see you both. Can you tell me a little bit about what's been happening here at Queer Britain in the new exhibition?
For sure. So essentially, we have a total redevelopment of all of our galleries. We've been open, now let me get this right, I believe 4 years now. It was our 3rd birthday last year, so it's definitely 4 years. So in celebration, essentially, we have created 6 new theme displays and a new temporary exhibition. We've redone our magnet wall, we've got new kind of welcome text and a few new takeovers in the space as well.
I mean, amazing. It sounds great. If only I could have done those sort of things at my 4th birthday. What aspirations to have. I'm sort of chomping at the bit to get going. So maybe you could both walk me through the space. And as we go through, it would be great to hear you describe what we're looking at. And then maybe you could show me some of your favourite things from the exhibition.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, I'll follow you. Look at this. Okay, so we're in the first room, and on the right-hand side, we've got all of these posters of, is that Flair?
Yes, so this is a little takeover from BFI Flair, which is a queer film festival in London. So this is 40 years worth of posters celebrating 40 years worth of the festival. So we start at the very beginning. Oh gosh, got to get my years right. I'm gonna look.
I can help you because I'm 40, so it's 1985.
1985.
Oh my God, I've just aged myself on air. I did not want to do that.
Live age reveal. So we're starting in, which year?
1985.
1985. And we have Gay's own pictures. So this is from when the BFI was the National Film Theatre, and the BFI Flair was just a kind of film programme, if you will. And then we've got this 40-year journey, which takes us to, you know, one of the biggest queer cultural events, you know, the world over. So you can see from what is just newspaper ads to some more kind of artsy initial posters. I really love the purple one, the Lesbian and Gay Film Festival one, which has two women sort of about to kiss. And then you've got some of the later ones, which are much more like graphic designs. I think one of your favourites, Beau, was one of the later ones.
Yeah, well, actually, one of my favourites is, I don't know what year it is, but for a visual, we've got a very sultry cat looking into the camera, but also quite glam. She's got like a diamond choker on, and it's got an LLGFF, which is London Lesbian and Gay Film Festival. And it's just glam, you know, and as a dyke myself, I just really relate to the glam cat. So
2004, it says there.
There we go.
It's amazing. Yeah, I love these posters. They're so, I mean, not only are they an amazing archive of BFI Flair, which is still going today, and it's so great that it is, but it's also kind of like an archive of graphics and design throughout the year, isn't it? It's like, it's amazing. And I don't know, I love it. I wonder when it's all going to start coming back round again, and these new, much more modern versions are going to start looking like those old ones. Amazing. I love this. And on the other side here, we've got these. Is this the magnet wall that you were telling me about?
Wall. So we have changed our questions. So we're inviting our audiences to give us a queer object from past, present, or future that you'd love to see in queer Britain one day. So we hope this can be a bit of a reflexive space. So maybe what you put on this magnet board will one day be in the galleries. That's the idea.
I love that. That's great. And okay, let's have a quick read of some of these things here. Queer protest banners. Yeah, that's a good one.
Brilliant. That one was mine.
This was not a setup.
I don't know if Jennifer's is still on here, but I still think Jennifer's is the most iconic. Jennifer put the first square on the wall and was just like the first ever dildo. And I feel like since I started working here, we've been saying we just really want to do an exhibition or display on sex toys.
Yeah.
Okay, this is amazing. And I know that Lisa Power is one of your trustees, and that Lisa Power was a volunteer at Switchboard, so we've done a lot of work with her. And she actually started the first... Oh, go on.
I love Thrilling Bits. Lisa's such an icon, and we actually have a Thrilling Bits catalogue currently on display. So Thrilling Bits was a... not online, this is pre-online. It was a kind of mail-out sex toy catalogue, and you could buy sex toys that were named after either celebrities who were out or who Lisa thought should be.
Oh my God. Okay, great. This is, I mean, I could spend so long looking at these answers here, but yeah, let's go into the next room, which is just through here. Okay, I haven't been here since this new exhibition has come in, so this is all completely new. Oh my gosh, wow. Okay, yes, I'm following. We've got a big red square which says resist with an exclamation mark. Tell me.
Well, I will talk to you just a little bit about what this room is about, and then I'll hand you over to Beau, who can say more about resist. But this room, so we're in Gallery 2, and this has our 6 themed displays. So each display has a specific theme, be that resist, body and mind, live, laugh, love. We're addressing different parts of queer culture and life through these 6 displays that will have the same theme, but the stories will change on a sort of yearly, every year and a half basis, so we can get lots of stories through the doors at the museum, which is really exciting. The first one, which we are right ahead of, is Resist, and Beau has been leading on this, so I'll let them talk about it.
Yes, so I was so thrilled. So when I first started here 6 months ago, I really got thrown into the job because we fully just dismantled this whole room, and I got thrown into doing this amazing display. So the display, so it's for the theme Resist, and it's on the Black Lesbian and Gay Centre, which I know, Tash, that you know about because I just finished reading your book. Oh my God, look at this. I'm plugging. So the Black Lesbian and Gay Centre, so it was established in Harringay in 1985. It was open until around 1895 as sort of like a bricks and mortar, but they carried on doing things until around the year 2000. So we did this display with Veronica Mackenzie, who is a writer and creator and director. So she actually produced the Under Your Nose documentary all about the Black Lesbian Gay Centre. And together we recruited an amazing group of 20 volunteers, all of which were interested in the Black Lesbian Gay Centre. A lot of them didn't know about it at all, so it was sort of like their first step into it. And we ran 4 workshops with them, and the workshops were all around learning about curation, learning about the Black Lesbian Gay Centre. On one of the workshops, we had a Zoom call with some of the original members. It was a really amazing experience, and sort of what you're looking at now, the display, is sort of like a big wall of frames that are all super colourful. So the thing I love about the Black Lesbian Gay Centre is sort of their graphic design. So they designed a lot of posters, a lot of paper ephemera, and sort of you just see pops of colour everywhere. So like red, green, yellow, pink, because they did a lot of demonstrations, a lot of work for the Black queer community. I don't know if you wanted me to talk about one of my favourite objects, perhaps?
Oh, I absolutely do. I absolutely do. But just before I do that, I just want to say, just touch on something that you mentioned then about bringing people to this archival work and bringing people in and getting them to work on this, where they're also learning and discovering their own histories as part of it. And with the work that you do here at Queer Britain and the work that we do at Aunt Nell, that's a key point around it, isn't it? So many of our histories and stories have not been hidden, they've been censored, and we don't know about them because of much bigger, wider societal issues and problems. And the very act of bringing someone in to look and access their history that through the archives is radical, I think, and it's so powerful and amazing, and great to hear that that's at the root of what you've been doing here at Queer Britain. So thank you. And now to, your favourite item. Go on.
Yeah. So my favourite item, I mean, there's so many good ones, but my favourite items are probably the newsletters. Okay. So are they over here? Yeah, so they're in the case. So in the case, it was really hard to choose. So all of the objects on display, bar a few, are from Bruce Castle Museum and Archive, who have a really amazing BLGC archive. And all of these objects you see were chosen by the volunteers. And the newsletters, so they aren't as colourful, but I just think they're so special. So they're all in sort of black and white, so you can tell that, they were printing cheaply, but they're always quite graphic. So there's like photographs, there's little illustrations, their logo, which I'm obsessed with, is always on them.
Can you describe the logo for me? Yeah,
so it was meant to be quite a, I guess, sort of like non-binary type of logo. So not quite female, not quite masculine. It's 2 sort of figureheads, and they're sort of like doubled up next to each other. And sort of within the newsletters, it was sort of everything in the newsletters. So I guess what we think of now as, what we use the internet for, what we use the phones for, it was everything from, finding out what was going on at the BLGC, what was going on in the queer community in London, what was going on politically, and it really just, I guess, is a reflection of what the Black Lesbian Gay Centre did. So, they did everything from social events, they ran a phone line, they did events sort of to do with helping the Black queer community. So it could be do with finances, finding housing. It was just everything, really. And I just think it's a really lovely, I think as someone who loves physical media, there's just something so nice about picking up one of these newsletters and sort of carefully leafing through and just seeing what was happening during that time.
It's almost like time traveling, isn't it? Like in turning that page and reading those words, it's like you're imagining the person who wrote them, who read them for the first time, and you're taken back to that moment. I sort of love that interaction with different types of media and archive, where it feels like you're suddenly turning on the radio and you're back in 1992, and the Black Lesbian and Gay Centre project has found a centre. They've got in capitals. Brilliant. Oh, and we've also got like the telephone statistics. This is so great. There's so much to look at here. Okay, so that's number 1, resist, and then we've got body and mind, and this is all in blue, and this quilt. I mean, wow. This is amazing. So this is a part of the AIDS quilt, right?
AIDS quilt number 23. And I think this is, again, I'm going to let Beau talk a bit more in detail about this part of the exhibition, but this is really one of the most powerful objects I think we've ever had in this space. And if you walk into this room, the sheer size of it, it's 12 foot by 12 foot. It's made up of 8 different panels in like bright colours. There's some metallic, there's some glitter, and there's also some more neutral tones, some more kind of complex stories. But just anecdotally, the kind of response we get from visitors when they kind of encounter this quilt has been really powerful. And I think this is a real special moment for us to be presenting this story at Queer Britain, but Beau can say more about it.
Yeah, it's amazing. But before you do, Beau, I just want to sort of, and maybe I'll just take a moment to talk about how I'm feeling looking at it. It's so big that it's bigger than the wall that it's hanging on. So the quilt is actually being hung all the way from the top, and then it's sort of cascading down across the floor, which in and of itself feels like, I don't know, it's a really fascinating way of it taking up space and these stories not being contained to the wall that they're sort of pinned on, that actually they go beyond that and they're coming closer to us. There's like a movement to it, which is amazing. And then each panel, of course, is a different, they were all done by different people, right? And they're sort of based on the size of a tombstone originally.
Yeah, so like Jennifer said, the sort of entire square is 12 by 12 foot, but each individual panel, so it's made up of 8, is 12 by 3, which was supposed to be sort of, the average sort of person. So thinking of a tombstone, of a coffin. So it's quite impactful when you look at it, because you can sort of see just how large they are, and then it sort of really hits you that each one of these is about a person who passed away because of HIV and AIDS.
And of course, these are just, how have we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we've got 8 panels on this one quilt, but we know of the hundreds of thousands of millions of people whose lives have been lost to HIV related illnesses, and just to have this here it's so important, and it's representative of all of those people. It's like a really beautiful way to acknowledge that and to let it take up space. And I love how it's doing that. It's kind of forcing itself. And it's just so visual. It's full of like amazing colours. The one in the middle has almost got like this beautiful duck and sun, like a planet, and then it's got a ring around it. We've got some glittery winged red boots, a picture that's been embroidered on the left-hand side of Scott MacDonald. It just carries so many stories, doesn't it? And then you think about everyone that has sewed into this or thought about this. It's this beautiful idea of like a living archive to represent someone who we've lost, but now sort of lives on in this quilt and on in us as the viewer in interacting with it. Amazing. I love it. And then we've got the world around us. Which is green. I love all these different colours.
Yes, so hopefully it's a nice sort of way of pathfinding your way around this room. So the world around us, this one is looking at the life of Justin Fashanu. Justin is a pretty incredible figure in British football, and he was the first ever professional player in the men's sport to be an out gay man. This display is quite small, and we wanted to think about how we use that space. So the kind of lens I applied was to really celebrate Justin's life and his legacy. So Justin got into the sport in the early 80s. He played for England under 21s and had this amazing career. And he started off at Norwich City. So you can see a Norwich City strip, and also a couple of other bits of football memorabilia on the walls. And in the case in front of me, there's also a lot of material related to the early part of his career. So he was very famous. He was on Top Trumps. He had a single. He had stationery. He had stickers. He was very much within the kind of culture of football in the early 80s. Unfortunately, his career was significantly derailed by his experience of homophobia, by his kind of managers within the sport. And then in the 90s, he was kind of forcibly outed by the press, who essentially said to him, if he did not come out, then they would force him to come out. So Justin's story is really quite a difficult one. I think it's also a great tragedy of timing. When I look at this story, I think, why couldn't you have kind of been 20 years later? How different might your life and career have been if, the timelines were different? But we're kind of showcasing some really important things that did happen after Justin's legacy. So campaigns like Football versus Homophobia came directly out of the Justin campaign, really working towards making football a more LGBT-friendly space.
It's really lovely to see this exhibition celebrating Justin and his talents, and then looking at the change that has happened since he left. Since he left this world, it does. It's really important as well, though, to hold the responsibility of media when it comes to mental health, and it makes you think a lot about what's happening today, and also what happened before Justin's time, in the 80s, and just think about the power of media and that voice, and how we really have to learn from this history. And it's great to see this display here, because so many people won't know about Justin, and they'll learn about him now. And that history being shared will help us to understand that we have ways to stop that history repeating itself. So it's really great. And then, of course, Beau, I know Norwich is a place that's close to your heart.
I mean, everyone might think it's crazy because they always do, but yes, I work in London, I commute from Norwich.
I'm going to move on to this one here. We've got queer creativity. I love this poster. I've seen it before. Northern Women's Liberation Rock Band. It's so good. It's like a screen print with blue Northern Women's slanted typography, and then this like red faded picture underneath of like some women rocking out. It's great. Okay, what's this one about?
Well, this holds a special place in my heart, this display. So it's queer creativity, and it's looking at women's liberation music. And it's really starting in the early 1970s at this kind of point of convergence between the women's liberation movement and the gay liberation movement. Anecdotally, when I was talking to some people who were involved in the women's liberation music movement, they were saying how some of them, as lesbians, were looking to get into the kind of gay liberation front scene, but felt excluded from that space because they were queer women, and felt that it was kind of centering the gay male experience. So they found more of a kind of safe haven, if you will, not totally safe haven, but a kind of pocket within the women's liberation movement. And women's liberation music was a kind of subset of that movement, where women were coming together to make music, both for fun and for protest reasons, and just as a way of kind of coming together and having community. So when you mentioned the Northern Women's Liberation Rock Band poster, that is actually one of my favourite items in this exhibition, just because I just think it's just so cool and fun. Like, you can look at some of this material, and there's songs they've written. They kind of range from the political to the very silly. And there's a little quote I just want to read, if you don't mind. So Angela Cooper, who was the lead singer of the Northern Women's Liberation Rock Band, said of the band, so a mixture of feminists from different class and ethnic backgrounds and political views, Maoists, libertarians, lesbians, heterosexuals, and a transsexual. A motley crew reflecting our times. And I just think this is like the early 70s, and it's just a very fun political moment where people are all coming together in support of women's liberation.
I love that. It's great. And the posters are so fun, aren't they? There's something really zany about them. And then we've got Spare Rib. Yeah. And we've got some records here as well. Yeah. Okay, come on, talk to me about this.
So there's some really great songs. So this is from the Prima Donnas, and we have a sheet of their lyrics, and just some of the song names are just like beautiful. One, I enjoy being a dyke.
Do you though?
Number two, coming with a woman.
Oh my God, these are so good. Hold on a second.
Que sera, sera. I feel like it's just so fun.
Okay, so we've got Que sera, sera, and at the end it says, you're a dyke, do whatever you like. Homosexuality, it's the way for me.
A classic.
I want to hear more about coming with a woman. Oh my God, it's to Mountain.
It's to Mountain.
Should we sing it?
On the mountain. Yeah, go. Be coming with a woman when she comes. When she comes, she'll be coming with a woman when she comes. She'll be coming with a woman, coming with a woman, coming with a woman when she comes.
Oh, well, that's the next project for all three of us, isn't it? Okay, quickly moving on. Oh, perfect. To where our song will be played, the club.
Yes.
So Club Kids is the fifth part of the exhibition.
So yes, this is Club Kids, and we've got Club Kali, which is a night that was founded in 1995 by DJ Ritu and Rita Hirani, and essentially it's the kind of one of the first South Asian club nights for LGBTQ plus communities, essentially celebrating South Asian culture in the UK with the queer community. And one of their sort of phrases is bringing Bollywood to Hollywood. Nice. for their nights. And this display was created with Club Kali, with some of its previous kind of attendees and members of the community. And essentially we really wanted to sort of celebrate the radical inclusivity that Club Kali created within their nights. So you'd often have an event at the Dome in Islington, and you would go and you kind of connect with members of your community over South Asian culture and heritage. And it was a very radically inclusive space. So within South Asian heritage, there are lots of different ethnic and religious kind of groups and spaces. So it's about coming together, and celebrating your like shared cultures, and also getting involved in, you know, the culture of your peers and celebrating that together. So it's a really beautiful project, and it's very much characterized by, you know, an engagement with music, with outfits and dressing, and with sort of adornments and jewelry. So we've really tried to bring that out in this display. So you can see things like mirror work on some of the textiles, which is a traditional kind of way of working with fabric, which includes a lot of like shiny, mirrored sequin type things. You've also got photographs from the nights at Club Carly, tickets, there's some records, and lots
that
of
baseball
outfits.
cap looks pretty good, doesn't it? It's got like
Yes.
stars and glittery things all over it. And also one of the great things that Club Carly did was bring people together to create its own community as well, right? Which is just so beautiful. And we spoke to both Rita and Ritu for the Logbooks book and also the podcast, and they told us some really moving stories of people coming to the space and feeling that shared connection that they'd not felt in a long, long time. So yeah, amazing work, and it's so great to see it celebrated here on these walls. Okay, I'm going to move to our orange display. Live, laugh, love. Is that in the L Word soundtrack? Yeah, living, loving, laughing.
Exactly. So Live, Laugh, Love is really looking at like domestic life, home and relationships. And for this display, we have focused on the relationship between Lytton Strachey and Dora Carrington. They were members of the Bloomsbury Group, and they met at Virginia Woolf's house party in the 1920s. Lytton is a older gay man, and he was an author, so he's writing a lot of biography and is kind of known for changing how biographies were written, I think with a little bit more humour. This is like just after the Victorian period, so you can imagine this was kind of radical. And then you've got Dora, who is younger than Lytton, I think had a more sort of fluid relationship to both gender, sexuality, was much more questioning, but Dora was an artist, so there's some of her reproductions of her paintings, and one of which is of Lytton himself. So they had this incredible relationship with one another. It was very much a friendship, but it was also more than a friendship. You know, they spent so much time together. They had a lot of correspondence with one another, and we've got some of the letters on display here. But ultimately, they ended up living together at Hamsbury House with Lytton and with Dora and her husband. So they had this kind of non-monogamous relationship in the British countryside in the sort of early 1920s for several years, which I think is really important for highlighting just how long these kind of fun queer relationships have been in existence for.
I love that, and also it makes me think a lot about the power of connection and what queer family means, you know, with non-monogamy, with relationships, but friendships and community building, and how that can also change over time. So it's really lovely to see these, domestic scenes, like those black and white photos you've got up there. Love the artwork here, and his very slender fingers, hasn't he? Fingers. Wow, brilliant. Okay, what's in the next space? Shall we go through into there? Okay. Creaky floorboards. Oh, wow, okay. We've got, oh, great, there's loads going on here. Well, I mean, I'm obviously drawn to queer as fuck. Okay, tell me about this space, queer print. Is this what it is?
Yes, so this is our temporary exhibition space, if you will. So what's in here changes every quarter. So we have 4 temporary exhibitions a year. At the moment, queer print is looking at modern print cultures and how they've kind of shaped LGBTQ liberation movements and culture since the 1960s. But this is also a real celebration of our own collection. So everything in this room is from Queer Britain's collection, which I think, there's some really powerful stuff in here. I probably am most drawn to what's in the case over here, because I think this is like just the iconic part of our collection. So we have a vitrine, which is a kind of clear case that you can look into. And we have a few things related to kind of queer sex and safer sex campaigns. So on the left-hand side, we have this watercolour illustration or watercolour painting of the first ever safer sex campaign in the UK, which was in 1982. So this is the original artwork that we have in this case here. And it was publicised and distributed by the Terence Higgins Trust before the UK government even acknowledged the existence of HIV and AIDS. So this is a really, really important part of queer British history.
This is brilliant. And of course, Thrilling Bits is here.
Thrilling Bits is here.
Which is what we were talking about earlier. Lisa Power and a friend founded Thrilling Bits, a fee in brackets male catalogue run by women for women. And it's great. It's got like this, it's kind of like, looks like a real old newsletter and zine, and it's got a cartoon on the front, and it says, "Thanks to Jay, who found this in Margate for us, and to all of you who've written wishing us well." And it's just like it looks like two grannies or mums reading the catalogue very excitedly in their front room. It's brilliant. Okay, so we've got so many things to look at. I love that this is all archival items from Queer Britain's collection. And it makes me think about that first room that we were talking about and all those magnets and what people want to see in here. Kind of imagining that being things that take over this particular space. And then we've got all of these, what are these pictures over here? Are they like, what is that? Queer as fuck? Wait, what? Yeah, tell me.
So this is our Queer as Fuck archive. This is an archive of design work from Chris Holland, who was involved with Outrage. So Chris Holland did a lot of the design work for Outrage, and you can see actually there's an Outrage flyer just over here. But some of this stuff is, so there's also the stickers which would have been distributed. So these are orange, green and black stickers. And then there's a kind of green leaflet. But the other stuff is more just like playful artwork that Chris was creating at the time in line with his politics. I'm trying to think. I mean, my favourite one is the one that says, "The road to hell is paved with heterosexuals."
It's true. Beau, what about you?
I mean, I'm a big fan of the one that is basically a building on fire, and then it's just like blast bigotry, demolish heterosexism, explode heteromythology, topple heterosupremacy.
And then have lunch.
All in a day's work.
All in a day's work. And I love this. This is the Never Going Underground campaign. And there's a poster and then also a T-shirt, which is just brilliant to see. And there's some work happening at the Transport Museum for London, which is linked to this, and an oral history collection being collected. So it's lovely to see these things sort of interacting and speaking to each other. This is the last room that we are in.
This is the last room, yes.
Well, thank you both so much for taking me around. I feel like I could spend so much longer, when I will, when it is open, coming back and digging into this. I wonder, if people want to come and see the exhibition, could you maybe tell us when it's open, and also how could people get involved or hear more about Queer Britain?
Mm-hmm. So we are open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday from 12 till 6. So you can come and see us. We are a pay what you can organisation. So you can buy a ticket online and you can choose the price that you pay. So do come and see us. And we also do lots of events, which maybe Beau can tell you more about.
Yep, so we've always got events on. At the moment, we've been running a really great sort of Meet the Author series. So you can check our events online, and we've got sort of one every couple of weeks up until the end of June. And they're really great, and we have a great selection, including them books in the shop, which you can come to, which just has loads of really good gay stuff that you can buy for yourself.
And if anyone wants to find out more, then it's queerbritain.com, at Queer Britain on socials and everything like that. Well, thank you both so much. It's been so nice to come here and have this wonderful tour from you both. But yeah, keep up the great work, and I'm really excited to see people's responses to the exhibition as it beds into itself.
Thank you. Thanks for visiting.
Thank you.
Well, I have to get down to Queer Britain now myself and see everything in the exhibition. I was really moved by their piece that's about Justin Fashanu. And I think it's kind of incredible and touching and heartbreaking to have a section about him in his story in this museum. So I thank Queer Britain for that. And it just makes me think about how his life could have been different if he was born, 20 years later, 30 years later or something like that. So that was a piece in listening to the tour that you did that really touched me. Yeah,
it really touched me as well. And I don't think I've ever seen anything exhibited around Justin before in that way. So it's really, really important. You should definitely go check it out.
Yes.
But what else are you up to, Adam?
I've got to go. Well, actually, I'm going on holiday.
I just saw your
tomorrow.
Whole face light up.
Yeah,
then.
because I saw my note and I noticed the date when this is going out. And so, So if you're listening to this on the day that it's out, on Thursday, the 18th of June, I'm actually going on holiday on Saturday, the 20th of June for a week. And I have been producing the hell out of this holiday. I'm going with a group of friends and I'm like not dominating everyone, but I have kind of taken charge and I'm just like lead producer so that we get shit done.
That's because you're first, isn't it?
I don't know what it is, but something.
Okay, well, I hope you have the best time. Looking forward to hearing about it when you're back.
Southern Spain, watch out.
Oh my God, so nice. And in the meantime, if you want to help support our work here at Aunt Nell, then you can sign up to our Patreon for just a few pounds a month.
Yes.
And it really helps us to do and make all of the things that we do and care about in highlighting untold stories and helping to build a world that we should have grown up in.
Yeah. I will see you all when I'm back off my holidays.
Oh my God, just so happy.
The Logbooks is an Aunt Nell production.
It is hosted and produced by Tash Walker and Adam Zmith.
The assistant producer is Mia Campbell. Music from Soundstripe.
Original artwork by Natalie Doto.
With thanks to the dreamboats at Acast.
Finding ways to be financially savvy is a smart move. And knowing you could be saving money for the things you really want, like that dream home or new ride, is a great feeling. That's why the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you save when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
While every other channel is fighting for your customers' attention, podcasts are where they've already given it. No one accidentally listens to a podcast for 45 minutes. They choose to be here. They trust the voice in their ears, and when that voice talks about your brand, it doesn't sound like advertising. It sounds like a recommendation from a friend. Acast gives you that trust at scale. Digital precision, host-read authenticity, and performance data that proves it worked. Don't fight for attention. Buy it with Acast. Learn more by visiting acast.com/advertise.